Ladies first.
Licensed by the king to sell imported goods. So we had no competition, and most of what he's selling is high quality. Yeah, come on in.
Everybody in.
Now, why is the bed on the first floor? Fielding is a very sick man. He has tuberculosis, so he can't climb stairs.
Sad, no.
That's his bed. And that's what makes this house very famous. The ceilings. We don't know his real name, but in a letter, the artist is referred to as the stucco man.
Okay.
George Washington, he was in the house, and he looked up there and said, by God, I'd like to have this at Mount Vernon. If you go to the dining room in Mount Vernon, there's a large plaster eagle on the ceiling. It's the same tradesman, the stucco man. They made a little deal. Fielding needed a painter to paint all the walls, so George sent the Mount Vernon painter, and Fielding sent the stucco man to Mount Vernon.
Should be left and plaster?
Yes, it's crushed oyster shell, lime and water.
I mean, but the backing is a lath.
Probably.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've
no.
never seen what's behind up
No,
there.
yeah, that's true.
But carve out wood molds, fill it up with the plaster, bake it, and pull out the piece. Paint it up and glue it right where you want.
Yeah.
And we know a lot about what was in the house because when Fielding died, the will said to make an inventory. So somebody came in the room and wrote down every single item that you see here. And a dollar figure was assigned to it as well because you get taxed one more time on your way out. So the foundation acquired the house about 100 years ago, and it had no furniture in it. They had to go find all this furniture. So some of it is original, like the bed and the trunk on the chest, the desk. They found that at an antique store in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Wow.
And they were able to verify that it was really Betty's.
Wow.
And it's been
How
sitting
did
there.
they track it down? Like when it left the house, was it?
Somebody in the Daughters of the American Revolution found out and tipped off the people running this place.
Wow.
And yeah, they were able to verify it. It's legit.
Okay.
And yeah, we got Betty's mirror and her washstand. We know that there were 6 chairs in this room, but we don't have enough Lewis chairs. So it's a 250-year-old period piece. It's probably close.
Right.
So when you go to see places like Kenmore, a lot of them really can't show you what was really there. We can do that. That's very unusual.
The face depict anything special?
It's Apollo, the sun god.
Ah.
And that is also a symbol of the monarchy of France.
Uh-huh.
Remember, the French were our allies in the Revolution.
Right.
I think he put that up there for that reason.
Yeah. To the woe of the English.
The wood carver, Hamilton, look at what he did over here on the wood mantle.
Incredible.
The detail, I know you're far away and the lights are terrible, but the detail's really good. And this guy was just super talented.
It's went till 5 years to build, eh?
Yes, yeah.
I mean, the house probably went up, you know, and all the decoration work.
You know, I got a house that's being built right next to me, and I think they've been at it for 3 weeks, and it looks done.
That's not bold.
That is for washing up.
Okay.
We have a pitcher of water down here and some soap in this little drawer, and wash up. You only take a bath once a year back in those days. They believed immersing yourself in water would kill you.
Well, my old house in England was built in 1875, and so it's now just a part of the garden shed with an outside toilet or the lavvy. So that's why you have the chamber pots, because in November that would be a cold
Yeah,
night.
just
Walk
going
down
out there. I'm not doing it. Let's go see the dining room.
What's the, was that the decoration?
The desk.
That's the little green, what is that, little cups, the metal? Yes.
This would have been for
Tea.
Tea.
Ink.
Ink.
So that you could write letters.
Oh, nice.
And this one right here is got sawdust in it. In case you spill the ink, you put the sawdust on it to get the ink out.
Wow, she had fun in this room, like doing her makeup.
Do they have the pen that,
No.
there is a pen that they use for,
Would have been a goose feather pen, a quill pen.
yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful room.
Okay.
you need some clocks.
Yeah.
You need some grandfather clocks ticking away.
We've got one in the museum.
Okay, sure.
But they're not sure if it was ever in the house because it's not in the inventory. But it's associated with the Lewises.
Okay.
And it still works.
Nice.
Okay, the dining room. This is the biggest room in the house.
It is a big one.
Outside of like the courthouse or a church, nobody has a room like this in Fredericksburg. And look at what Stucco Man has done. He did all of that on the ceiling and the large mural above the fireplace. And you can really get close and see Hamilton's woodwork on the mantle.
And would there have been pictures in these?
You know, I think Fielding planned to fully decorate this room.
Yeah.
But remember, when he moved in, the Battle of Lexington and Concord was fought that weekend.
So,
His resources are diverted to the Revolution.
Sure.
I don't think he ever got around to this. We're set up for a coffee and tea service, and the china set, that this is all original, came from London. Whitehead and Company made the china. Look at the rim of the plates. Isn't that marvelous? They believe it's a complete set. That means nobody's ever dropped a plate or a cup.
that's on the house, right? All those years.
I don't think I could go a year without dropping something, you know? Just amazing. And the furniture is really something. This chair, this is Fielding's chair. How do we know it was Fielding's? He's got the armrest, and he's got the extra wide seat because he was a big boy.
Big, okay.
And Robert and William Walker made this chair. The furniture makers from Fredericksburg Brothers. Very rare furniture. Not much of it has survived over the years. They can make a chair look elegant and delicate, but I'm telling you, this chair is rock solid. You can use it still. And you see the heart? That's how you know if it's a Walker chair. Now you see this chair here? The foundation bought this at an auction a few years ago. They paid $30,000 for
For one chair.
So if you see one of these at the flea market, you need to buy it.
Yeah.
And you'll know the heart, remember.
Wow.
Now the carpet.
That almost looks like a castle in the background.
You keep looking at it, you'll see all kinds of things buried in there. It is really terrific. Now this room had wall-to-wall carpet, unusual for colonial times. Rugs were so expensive. For the longest time we had to guess, we didn't really know, except there was something here. But over here, jammed up under that trim board and floorboard, they were doing a restoration, they found an original piece of the carpet. And they used some science and they analyzed it. And they traced it back to England, back to the Wilton Carpet Company that's still in business. They had the catalog from 1775. So they had the carpet remade.
Oh, wow.
That's what it really looked like.
Wow.
That's 6 figures worth of carpeting we're standing on.
Amazing.
Yeah, I could do that check. That's a lot of money. Yeah, this is a great room. The Lewises loved to entertain. Dancing, they were really into that. Virginians loved dancing. George Washington, did he dance here? Absolutely. And the girls would line up for George. He was considered the finest dancer in all 13 colonies.
Do you realize there was actually 15 colonies?
15?
But
We lost 2. What happened?
you know, you gave Florida, East and West Florida back to the Spanish. The English or the British had only recently conquered it.
I didn't know that.
But they did not rebel
Huh.
because they were purely new.
Yeah, they weren't associated.
Imports. Yeah.
They were really disconnected in a way.
And it was East and West Florida,
How about that?
and then you gave it back to the Spanish.
Well, boy, I love American history. It's a rabbit hole that never stops. Well, let's look at the parlor.
Yeah, when we lived in upstate New York, we went to the Battle of Saratoga. You know, actually, after that, that's when the French joined the Americans.
That's right.
Because they knew then at that time
taking my dad there this summer.
Oh, no, it's beautiful, yeah.
We're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
Okay, this ceiling, we've got more stucco, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
We
yeah.
call this the Four Seasons. You see the acorns? That's for the fall.
Autumn.
This one's mistletoe for wintertime.
Oh, nice.
Grapes, well, that's easy, that's summer. And then dates and palms for the spring.
Oh, wow.
And every flower that you see in the mural here are native to Virginia. So we got different kinds of roses, dogwood, rhododendron, mountain laurel, and boy, that stucco man really could do it, couldn't he?
That's,
Look at the ceiling up there. You see that large crack? If you study the ceiling, you'll see cracks everywhere up there. What happened? The Battle of Fredericksburg did a lot of damage to this house. That ceiling collapsed and dangled down about 4 or 5 feet. The next owner after the Civil War, thank goodness he had plenty of money, he got the ceiling back up where it belonged, and he had someone repair all of the destroyed and missing pieces. And the man did a great job. You can't tell the difference between the two artists. Yeah, very fortunate. Hey, there they are. Fielding and Betty. Those were painted in the 1750s by John Wallenstein. And they're wedding portraits. Now, when they hang on the wall here for the first time, 20 years have gone by. So that's what they look like in their full glory.
Right.
Now, right here we've got two of the sons, John and Fielding. They're painted by Charles Wilson Peale. If you haven't heard of Charles Wilson Peale, I know you've seen the pictures. He painted the Founding Fathers for the first time when they first became famous. And Fielding, he's the richest man in town. He got all the titles the town can offer. He's the colonel of the Spotsylvania County Militia, officer of the court, vestryman at St. George's, right down the street, master mason at the Masonic Lodge by the train station. And so he must have been in every battle of the Revolution, right? No, he was sick. He had tuberculosis. He couldn't serve. But he did the next best thing. His brother-in-law is now General Washington. And Washington's got 15,000 men, but he doesn't have any muskets. So Fielding spent 7,000 British pounds, all cash, all his own money. Millions and millions of dollars today. He built a gun factory with that money, and they made 10,000 muskets for General Washington.
Wow.
And he was never repaid. And he blew his own personal fortune on this gun factory. So the man is near bankruptcy. He's being threatened with debtor's prison. And then he gets a letter. General Washington has won the victory at Yorktown, the last battle of the Revolution. Fielding knows we're going to win. 2 months later, he died. We don't even know where he's buried. No tombstone. So, when you have your teacup filled up later today, give a little toast to Fielding Lewis, the forgotten patriot.
Mm.
And that's our little talk.
And the metal thing, what's the metal thing about this picture?
In the old days, the way you would hang this picture is you would have a wire loop around that. But I don't know why they don't do that anymore. That one's
Yeah.
actually screwed into the wall.
They should do it. It would
Yeah, it
look
would
nice.
look better, you're right,
I
more
think it
authentic.
would.
Okay. I'm so glad y'all came to say hello today.
This is office?
Yes, that's Fielding's office. He ran his merchant business from that office. And that's his desk. Those are his eyeglasses on the desk.
Yeah.
And
So we know where his eyeglasses are, but not him.
and this is really Betty's house. That's the only room that Fielding could claim was his.
What's the map?
And I invite you to come back. When you've got more time for the extended tour, you know, when you get family and friends over, bring them down for a tour. They would enjoy this.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
How was the tea? Was it
It
good?
was really good.
Very good,
I
very
love the
good.
Liberty tea.
Okay.
And when I did the tea test, I think it was the first one, she said it wasn't the most popular one. That was my favorite one.
Oh,
Kind of like the earthy tone to it. It was
Yeah,
really
I
good.
know what you're saying.
So they had more, where's the tea? Oh, it's right over here to be sold.
Yes, next to the etiquette one.
The Kenmore was more of a British style,
Yes,
very dark, black tea.
the Lewises, yeah. You'd think he would have sided with the British to
Oh,
protect
yeah,
his
I'm
business.
shocked. Well, anybody wouldn't.
Yeah. Well, it was a long shot what they were doing.
Yeah.
You know how the British lost Virginia in the South?
How's that?
The governor of Virginia hardly had any,
Soldiers. Yes.
So, and he didn't have the money to pay for it anyway after the issue in New England. So he came up with this great idea. Anybody who was an indentured servant or a slave, black or white, he would give them their liberty.
Yes.
And obviously the slave owners were really scared that, you're going to have, hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands
Yeah.
of armed,
Yeah, the revolution was very much a civil war at the same time.
Yeah.
Could you please give me just a little bit briefing about this because started.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Who lived here and what do you want to know?
I'm living in Springfield.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Kenmore was built in 1775.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Glad you came by. And it's the home of Fielding Lewis and George Washington's sister Betty Washington Lewis.
This is for George Washington.
This is for George Washington's brother-in-law lived here.
Uh-huh.
And it's the first mansion in this town.
Uh-huh.
There were houses here, but none of them were very nice. And yeah, you can't reproduce the quality of the trade work
Yeah.
today that they did back then.
Mm.
Yeah.
How do you get upstairs?
Well, they don't like us to go up there.
Upstairs.
There's a reason. If we walk around, it'll vibrate that ceiling.
The ceiling man.
But did you go in our museum yet?
I don't think so. I don't know where it is.
Oh,
Where is the museum?
yeah, here, I'll point it out to you.
Is there, they never let anybody upstairs? Or you have to work
In the
here?
museum, they have this gigantic dollhouse.
Okay.
And it looks exactly like what's in
No,
here.
it's not.
And it'll show you what's upstairs if you want
Okay.
to see that.
Oh,
But that
man.
little concrete sidewalk takes you,
Oh,
looks like
okay.
it's the bushes, but there's a museum behind it.
Okay. Have you been upstairs?
Yeah, yeah.
Lucky.
It's cool. It's
How
four-
many bedrooms over there?
4 rooms. Yeah,
Four.
all equal size. And it's got a narrow center hallway. That's the difference.
Is there bathroom upstairs? It's probably one bathroom or no bathroom. Where's the bathroom?
Bathroom was pot. Or, hopefully it's not too cold, behind the kitchen there is a...
Yeah, at that time,
privy.
I think there is no bathroom
Yeah.
inside the
So it's a
home.
little building where you can go to the bathroom.
Bathroom will be
in a hole in the
outside the
ground.
house.
But in
Yeah.
Old Town, they have bathrooms. Old Town Alexandria.
Uh,
Yeah.
plumbing would have come along in the 1850s.
That
Yeah.
makes sense. That's
Yeah.
wrong. Because it's
And do you know where people dump the chamber pots in downtown Fredericksburg? Right on the street. The filth would have just blown your mind. Plus, think about all the horses, horse manure everywhere.
What is there behind this building?
Oh, you've got to walk. Let me show you. It's a beautiful garden.
Okay.
They, are you all from Fredericksburg? Springfield, right?
Springfield.
All right.
How many people lived here? Just
So you had Fielding and you had Betty, and they had 10 children, but only the last 4 children were raised in the house.
okay. 10. That's a lot of children.
At that time, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they had a high birth rate in
Yeah.
those days. So yeah, that's our beautiful formal garden.
That's beautiful.
I wish you were here a couple weeks ago because it was full of tulips. Yeah, just hundreds and hundreds of them. And the back of the house is, it's got the little portico. That's the only difference.
Is it built with red brick or
Yeah.
inside there is
So
wood?
there are over 300,000 bricks in this house.
Uh,
And this style of masonry, you see this?
yeah.
That's called Flemish bond. So you see the long brick?
Yes.
Now take the long brick and shove it in so the short side faces out. And there's another wall behind this, and the bricks interlock. So 300,000 bricks, and the walls are this thick, all the way, including the interior of the house.
Mm.
So it's built like a fortress. I mean, you need a tank to knock it down. And
Shells. They put shells in there.
yeah, they ate oysters every single day because it's free food out of the river.
Okay.
And so they don't throw anything away. So they use, see the mortar mix right here? That's made up of crushed oyster shells.
And what that building there?
That is the laundry right there.
Uh-huh.
And that one's the kitchen.
Uh-huh.
They're detached because you always have a fire burning at the laundry in the kitchen, and there's
Look at the
they don't want
flowers
to burn the
upstairs.
main house down with a kitchen fire.
I see the little beautiful flowers in the laundry room at the top. So
Yeah.
nice.
Well,
Fortunately, it's full of black mold. Nobody's been in
You know,
that building
you
for
see it?
20 years.
yeah, yeah.
It's nice.
How many square mile this?
We have a 3-acre lot.
3 acres.
Yeah. But once upon a time, before the neighborhoods were here,
Mhm.
this house would have had 800 acres total. Yeah, it was big.
Then it diminished.
Yes, sold off the land to help make the town.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good question. Jay Whitehead. Just follow that little sidewalk and you'll find the museum.
What this room?
Sure.
This room. Hi, how are you?
Hey, sir, come on in. Come on in.
Yes,
Let's talk about the
how are
history
you?
of tea and the tea service.
Okay.
So, by the late, oh, we got more some people. Come on in, welcome. Hi. I'm talking about the history of tea and the tea service that we have set up here. So, for most of history, tea is in Asia, China specifically, and it comes over to Europe by the late 17th century, so the late 1600s. By 1690, we have our first licensed sellers of tea here in America. So at that point, they have begun drinking it. Drinking is a strong word, though. Some people didn't really know what to do with tea leaves once they got them. So there's accounts, maybe apocryphal, but there are accounts of people that would butter the tea leaves and eat them once they soaked, or just like dump the tea and then eat the leaves out of the cup. I don't know. They didn't know what they were doing. But give them like 20 years or so, they've mostly figured it out, and we get what we see here, our tea service. So everything you see, most everything, kind of had to be imported from halfway across the world. So it was not cheap. That's why we get images, like these ones here, of rich families who have commissioned paintings that show them drinking
The tea.
Exactly.
So that people would immediately know they had money.
They're so
Yeah.
rich, they have a full tea service at their disposal.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, unfortunately for these guys, in a couple years in the future, 1740s or so, tea has become such a commonplace that it's getting imported to America constantly. And at that point, it's cheaper and cheaper, and it's available to the masses. So tea itself doesn't really have that high stature, but the tea service is still something that's pretty explicitly upper class.
When did we start making? When did Americans actually start making their own tea as opposed to importing it?
So that would be pretty much once the laws were in place to tax the
Boycott,
tea that was coming
yeah.
over.
Okay.
So probably 1750s or 60s are the earliest.
What I remark is that American people today, they don't drink tea. They prefer to drink coffee.
Yes. So that is actually because of that war. I don't want to step on Allison's toes over there, but real quickly, once they started taxing teas to come over to America, Americans started drinking Liberty teas or kind of homebrew tea made with leaves that we have here that are frankly just not as good as the black tea. So they would kind of turn to coffee that was not being taxed. And so to this day, we still see Americans prefer coffee to tea.
But they would need to get that from South America, though, correct?
But it wasn't coming from England.
From the British,
So it
yeah.
wasn't being
Right.
taxed
Yeah.
by them.
I see that in British people they like tea.
They do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In America, people like coffee.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does date to 250 years ago, that divide.
Yeah.
I was saying earlier that my mother was born and raised in Scotland, and she met my father during World War II. I ended up marrying an Englishman, so it's been tea all my life.
Do they drink tea in certain time or?
So tea, at this time in colonial America, tea was a breakfast. So they would drink it along with a buttered slice of toast, and that was kind of how they started their day. And then later in the afternoon, they would probably have another pot. The upper class would have another pot. That was more of a social gathering, and generally there was nothing served with it except the tea. It was just
Okay.
a cup of tea and the tea ritual that you have here.
Now, this time, would they have had milk and sugar, or was it just?
Yep, so we've got our
Oh, little
cream
green
pot
jar,
here
okay.
and our sugar.
Okay.
So I can talk about our spread that we've got
Yeah,
here.
sure.
So starting with our kettle, this would rarely, if ever, leave the kitchen. This is what was used to heat the water over the fire.
Yes.
The water would be poured straight into a sort of carafe, like a fancier,
Jack.
not quite that
Like
yet.
what we saw in the
Yes.
visitor center? Okay.
Yes, it'd be poured into something like that, and that is what would be used. You can see a servant in the corner here carrying that little carafe.
Yes,
right
okay.
there.
And that would have the coals inside of it to keep it warm?
My understanding is it would just be the hot water.
Okay.
If she tells you something
Well,
different, she's right.
the silver service had a container for bowls.
Yeah.
So
So these two, do you guys recognize what these are?
Mhm.
sugar, right?
This is sugar. You know what this is?
I'm guessing it's the tea packed.
Give
It
a smell.
looks like chocolate.
It's tea.
Brendan, do you want
Huh.
the bricks of tea?
Give it a smell. That's tea. This is how they would transport it.
The tea they put it inside that.
Condensed, yeah.
It
It's
is.
also you can preserve it better, right?
Yeah, it's a lot easier to transport. There is a lot of tea leaves in this brick.
Oh,
This
yeah.
would probably be volume-wise, you can get a lot more in. It's also, if you get a drop of water on this, then you brush it off. But if you get a drop of water in your tea leaves, they're
Oh, really? Yeah.
so. But you
This
can see it's easy
this is
enough
to
get
filter
off.
the.
That is,
Yeah.
yeah. So
But you
I
also have
got.
to remember that the British were buying the tea from the Chinese because we hadn't moved it to India that stage because we didn't own India that stage.
Right.
So that was you get a lot of different merchants were involved before it reached the stage.
Yeah, it would pass through many, many hands.
Yeah.
These two things I have here, these are two different types of strainers. So this one goes right there, and so then the hot water would be poured directly in. The tea leaves would go in that strainer.
Yeah, and this.
Same thing with this one, it would just be held over and would probably be for a bigger teapot than the one that we have. So once that tea was ready, strainer comes off, and now you kind of recognize very similar to how we serve tea today. One of the big differences though, what do you notice about our teacup? No handle. No handle, yeah.
Chinese way to do it.
Yep, in China at the time they had tea bowls. So that carried over into Europe and into the colonies. So they would be drinking their tea from a vessel that did not have a handle. So this is going to burn your hands.
Oh, yeah,
You drink
yeah.
it like this. So you'll see in pictures, and you can actually look at this lovely family here, they would hold it like this.
That's why you
Yeah.
get your finger in the air.
Yeah.
Kind of. That happens. Yeah. We also have our
So
little
when did the
tea
animals appear then?
much later.
Yeah.
Probably, I don't
This
wanna
is for-
guess for sure, but. Oh, yes, the sugar nippers.
Huh?
So the sugar.
Cut the sugar.
Yeah,
Ah.
so this is
To break the sugar.
white sugar.
Yeah.
You would just.
Yeah, to break, yeah.
Okay, so I lump of sugar.
Yeah, so some, I say old fashioned people will say 1 lump or 2.
Yeah.
There's the sugar lumps. Our slop bowl as well. That's kind of the least dignified part of the whole tea service, the slop bowl. So when you drink a cup of tea, loose leaf tea, there's always going to be grounds at the bottom. Nobody likes that part. So you dump it into the slop bowl, and then you get a nice clean cup for
Unless
your
one of
next.
the tea leaves red.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
so-
that the beginning of making sugar, it starts with this.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it starts with this, and then after that they change it to different
They
kinds.
made more money
Yeah.
from sugar
Yeah.
plantations in the Caribbean than we did from America.
Right. So there was a ritual involved in this. The ritual had rules. Some were spoken, some were unspoken. One of those rules was that you could not refuse a glass of tea once it had been offered to you. That was seen as impolite. So instead of like what some visitors would do, social faux pas, they would just keep accepting the tea, and then they'd have 10, 11, 12 cups of tea. The host might take a little pity on them and explain very gently that what we usually do to silently end the tea service,
Upside down.
you put your cup upside down, you put your teaspoon right across the top.
Okay.
That shows the service is done without rudely saying something like, no more tea, thank you.
When we were in a traditional beer tavern in Cologne, they had the same thing with beer, and you turn your beer glass upside down. And you don't know.
It's kind of a universal gesture.
Well, you do it with your fork and knife too when you're ready for the server to clear your plate, right?
Yep.
Mm.
Alright.
Okay, thank you.
So if you'd like a closer look at any of these, I can show you some more of my pictures here, or if you'd like to head out into the next room, if you haven't
Yeah.
been there, my friend Allison will let you taste some of our Liberty tea.
You want to try some more tea, Brad? You want some more tea?
Oh yeah.
What?
Hey, Alison,
Welcome in.
how are you?
Good, how are you?
What do you have here?
So I have some Liberty teas. So these are teas that would have been brewed potentially by the colonists after they started boycotting British imported teas during the American Revolution. After the Boston Tea Party, they decided no longer wanted to have those British teas. So these are Liberty teas. Liberty teas are anything that could have been foraged for around their homes or grown in their gardens. So I have them ordered from my least favorite to my most favorite. So the red root or Indian tea, Walpole tea. This tea is it's very red in color, so that's what gives it its name.
The red.
But it is very bitter and a little bit earthy tasting. So it's not my favorite. Raspberry leaf is still used today in some herbal teas.
Yeah.
So it is an alternative to black tea, which is naturally caffeinated. This is naturally decaffeinated, and it has the most similar flavor to that traditional black tea. And then on the end here is chamomile. Chamomile is dried flowers. And so this brews into a pretty mild tea. It's almost like a fruity pineapple-y flavor. It's very mild, it's very good. So you guys are welcome to try any of these or all of these. If you taste it and you don't like it, you can always dump it into the grass. It will not offend me at all. But yeah, I have little cups over here if you'd like to taste it.
Okay, thank you.
See, there's different ones we tried earlier.
Thank you.
You're a chamomile fan, I am not.
So these are all Liberty teas. So
Yes.
these are teas that could have been brewed by the colonists after they started boycotting traditional British teas. So I would say the red root is my least favorite. It's a little bit bitter and
Okay.
earthy. Raspberry leaf is going to be a little bit more similar to a traditional black tea, and then we have the traditional.
What is the red, I must have missed it, what's the red root come from?
So it's the root of a plant. I'm not exactly sure what the name of the plant is called. It's sometimes called like snowball because it has a flower in that root a little bit that is like a cluster of white flowers.
Okay.
I'm not sure what actually the name of the
Okay.
plant is.
Do you like it? She said she would like
Wait, now we're going to the lady in there. And this is in squares.
Thank you.
So our tea But a colonial tea really would just have been tea. Or for breakfast, tea as well. We're not going to serve you guys.
كنا نحن في كنمور اليوم. كان زيارة تاريخية لمتحف أو منزل كنمور. وكنمور هو الأخ الشقيق بالنسبة لجورج واشنطن. وكان شفنا نحن القصر بتاعه. ونحن هندخل هنا على عندهم متحف. هنشوف متحف تاريخي للأخ الشقيق لجورج واشنطن في فريدريكسبرغ. دي بيعملوها milk pan fragment found during excavation of kitchen of the building. هنا زجاجة زرقاء ومن الزجاجات ذاك الزمن يعني. دي كنمور من المناطق التاريخية في مدينة فريدريكسبرغ جنوب واشنطن. Hey, how are you? Good to see you.
We have some pieces out of our museum collection that we had on display for the tea time program.
This is tea time.
It's some of our tea pieces, but we were just having a tea time program.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so we had some pieces pulled out that showed different ways of serving and storing tea.
If there is anything, something written, I can keep it with me.
We do have a program, a tea time let me see if I have one up front.
Something about what this? This is for painting or?
Oh, paper quilling. We would take the little strands of paper and wrap it around this. Almost like a sewing needle. You put it on the needle like that, and then you twirl it.
Yes.
And then once you have it as big as you want it, you can rip the paper off and take it off so it looks like this.
It looks like
Like a circle.
like a circle, yeah.
And then you can make a shape out of it. So like if you did a teardrop, you pinch the top of it, and then you get your teardrop shape.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Kenmore was the home of P.T. Washington Lewis, sister of George Washington, and her husband, Fielding Lewis, who manufactured the first gun in this country for the Continental Army. The interior decoration of Kenmore are what?
Or exquisite.
Exquisite, yeah. كينمور هو يعتبر قصر بيتي واشنطن لويس، وبيتي واشنطن لويس هي الأخت الشقيقة بالنسبة لجورج واشنطن، وزوجها كان اسمه فيلد لويس. بيتي لويس قلنا هي أخت جورج واشنطن، وهي الأخت الشقيقة لجورج واشنطن، وزوجها فيلدينغ لويس اللي هو اخترع أول gun أو أول سلاح في الولايات المتحدة for the Continental Army للجيوش الأمريكية. Thank you.
You're welcome.
الكوميونتي بتاع الكينمور قالوا وجدوا أكثر over 130 enslaved person. كانوا السليف بيرسون أكثر من 130 have been identified as living and working either at Kenmore. كانوا إما يكونوا شغالين في بيت كينمور or at Louis Agriculture Property in Fredericks County. وكانوا بيشتغلوا في لويس، في مزرعة لويس في فريدريكسبيرغ فرجينيا، و during لويس family ownership. وعندما كانت منطقة فريدريكسبيرغ هي ملك لآل لويس. قلنا كان فيه أكثر من 130 من الإسليف، وهؤلاء الإسليف the large majority have been identified by name، كانوا معروفين بالاسم. 45 enslaved individual are listed in Kenmore inventory taken following Fielding Lewis، وكانوا معروفين في بالنسبة لأسرة لويس. دي دوكيومنت هنا احنا شايفينها، احنا شايفين هنا الدوكيومنت. هذه الدوكيومنت توضح عدد السليف او العدد العبيد اللي كانوا شغالين في مزرعة لويس. طيب قلنا ده قصر بيتي واشنطن أخت جورج واشنطن. زوجها كان اسمه فيلدينغ لويس. They are married in 1750 تزوجوا في سنة 1750 establishing themselves in house just down the hill from Kenmore. There was blended family with Fielding fathering 3 children. كان عندهم 3 أطفال with his first wife Catherine Washington. Petty gave birth to her first child, ولدت أول child لها Fielding Jr. In 1751, and over the next 20 years بعد 20 سنة gave birth to 10 more. كان عندها 10 أطفال. Gave birth to 10 more children. Of those, 6 survived to adulthood. ال10 أطفال عاش منهم لحد ما بقوا كبار 6. The Lewis family began the construction of their new home, now known as Kenmore. بدوا يبنوا القصر حقهم والآن بيعرف ب Kenmore, and that is around 1770. They moved their family into house in the fall of 1775 on the eve of the American Revolution. Fielding died in 1781 at the age of 56, passing his debt to his children. Petty Louise continued living at Kenmore for another 14 years, eventually moving to a smaller farm south of the city. She died in 1797 at age of 64. ده بيتكلم عن لويس فاميلي. لويس اتزوج أخت جورج واشنطن وسنة 71 وسنة 75 بنى لهم قصر وتحركوا نحو القصر وذلك إبان الأمريكان ريفوليوشن، إبان الثورة الأمريكية. فيلدينج زوج توفى in 1788 وكان عمره 56 عام، وترك بعد الحمل للأطفال أو ترك الورث لأطفاله. وزوجته بيتي لويس continue living، سكنت في كونمور 14 سنة 14 years eventually moving. بعد ذلك تحركت إلى منزل صغير في المزرعة جنوب مدينة فريدريكسبرغ. و she died in 1797 at age of 64. توفت في سنة 1797 وكان عمرها 64 سنة. Hi guys, how are you? Good. What's there?
It's a little bit of a gift shop.
This is gift. Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from Springfield, but originally I'm from Sudan.
I was trying to place the accent. And wonderful.
دي كراسي بتوضع في الجاردن، زي ما شايفين مصنوعة من الحديد، شيء يجلس عليها في الحديقة. دي الأواني اللي مستخدمة في هذا البيت يعني. بكده احنا نكون وصلنا لنهاية هذه الزيارة في هذا اليوم. وقد كانت الزيارة إلى قصر كنمور، وهذا القصر هو كان ملك لأخت جورج واشنطن اسمها بيتي، وبيتي تزوجت وجات سكنت في القصر ده، واسمه زوجها اسمه لويس. ولويس بعد ذاك توفى في عمر 56، وترك لها بعد ما هي ولدت 10 أطفال. ال10 أطفال عاشوا منهم 6، ولحد ما وصلوا إلى مرحلة الكهولة. بذلك نكون نحن قد وصلنا اليوم إلى نهاية هذه الجولة، وأرجو أنها تنال إعجابكم ورضاكم. ودي من المناطق في منطقة فريدريكسبرغ فرجينيا، وكل من يرغب في الزيارة مجانية، يمكن أن تزور هذا المبنى التاريخي، ويعني تقضي لحظات، وده لهواة التاريخ. آمل أن ينال هذا الفيديو إعجابكم، وإذا نال إعجابكم رجاء يعني أعملوا لايك وشير، اللي بيجي في هذه القناة لأول مرة أرجو أن يعمل الاشتراك لو سمحتم. إلى أن نلتقي بكم، تحياتي لكم جميعا، سيداتي آنساتي سادتي وكل المتابعين لقناة أبو هاني. إلى اللقاء، باي.